Two armies clashed in the Chausa area of Bihar, India, on June 15, 1539, and it was a vital decision in Indian history. Mughal Emperor Humayun was defeated by Sher Shah Suri in this battle, and he became the Emperor of India. Humayun fled to the Afghan province of Herat, which was then a part of Khorasan under the Safavid Sultanate of Iran. The minister of Khorasan, Khwaja Muhammad Sharif, served Humayun tremendous hospitality. Humayun got his emperor back after years, yet it brought bad days to his host in Iran. Khwaja Muhammad Sharif passed away. Shah, Iran attached the property of Khwaja's family after rivals of the deceased negatively projected his image. The son of Khwaja Sharif, Mirza Ghiyas Beg, was banished. He was given only an aged horse, a camel, and some food for the journey. Mirza Ghiyas Beg also had 2 sons and a daughter with him. This family began the journey to India. On the way to Kandahar, his wife, Azmatun Nisa, gave birth to a baby girl under a tree. This girl, named Noor Jahan, became the Empress of India later on. When Noor Jahan was born, her parents were passing through the worst days, so much so that they counted her birth as an addition to their sufferings. It is endorsed by the fact that they abandoned the newly born Noor Jahan in the jungle on the way to India. They wore a ring with Quran verses inscribed on it and tied it to a string around her neck as a safety measure against the animals. After they went away, a rider in a caravan spotted this baby sucking a thumb and took her to the other travelers. A narrative goes that the rider saw a snake coiled on the head side of the baby, posing as her protection. The rider asked the snake to get aside and assured him he would raise the baby, and amazingly, the snake crept away and the rider picked up the baby girl. The rider took the baby to the leader of the caravan, a merchant, Malik Masood, and told him this story. The merchant took the baby to a nearby village to arrange for a maid to milk and foster her. It was a coincidence that Mirza Ghiyas Beg and his family were also present in the same village. They saw the baby and told the merchant that she was theirs. The merchant handed them over the baby, and when he learned that Mirza Ghiyas Beg was the son of the former minister of Khorasan, took the whole family with him to Agra. He produced Mirza Ghiyas Beg before the royal court. Then Akbar, the son of Humayun, was the ruler of India. When Akbar learned about the hospitality of Beg's father to his father Humayun, he gave him a job in his court. Thus, Ghiyas Beg, who had reached Agra in a miserable state, soon became the owner of 36 factories. Now the same daughter whom Beg had left in the jungle considering ominous became dear to him as very lucky. The baby was to be given the name at the age of 5 on the occasion of the Norse festival. Her mother used to call her by the name of Meharun Nisa. On Nowruz Day, when her name was searched from the Quran, the word Shams, the sun, emerged. So Meharun Nisa was given the permanent name of Shamsun Nisa. It was her real name, but she continued to be popular by the name of Meharun Nisa. Mirza Ghiyas lived in the royal palace, so Meharun Nisa was also fully taught royal manners and decorum. She also learned the skills of archery, swimming, lancing, and riding. Meharun Nisa was also taught Arabic and Persian. In addition to that, she also composed poetry. Despite these traits, she might remain dormant in history had Emperor Jahangir not made her his empress, and given the title of Noor Jahan. How did this most known marriage in Indian history come about? It had 2 different narratives. The narrative says Prince Salim means Jahangir saw her in the royal palace when she was only 13 or 14. Prince Salim had a liking for pigeon racing. He asked Nisa to hold his 2 pigeons and went to catch the 3rd. On his return, he found 1 pigeon missing in the hands of Meharun Nisa. When he angrily asked how it went missing, Nisa, in confusion, also released the other one to show this way. It is commonly known that this gesture by Nisa crushed Prince Salim's desire to love her. When his father came to know that his son loved Meharun Nisa, the Emperor Akbar suspected Mirza Ghiyas Beg was plotting to grab the rule through his daughter, so he forced Mirza Ghiyas Beg to get Meharun Nisa married to an Iranian courtier, Ali Kuli. It goes that Akbar fought Ali with a lion. Ali Kuli killed the lion with his sword, on which Akbar gave him the title of Sher Afghan. The emperor gave a fiefdom to Ali Kuli in the province of Bengal and sent him and Nisa there. Out of this wedlock, Meharun Nisa gave birth to a daughter, Ladli Begum. but love for Mahanun-Nisa was still simmering in the heart of Prince Salim. After 11 years of Nisa's marriage, Prince Salim, by the name of Jahangir, became the emperor in 1605. He decided to win back his love. He made his foster brother, Qutbuddin, governor of Bengal. Qutbuddin went to the fiefdom of Sher Afghan and asked him to divorce Nisa for her marriage with the emperor. This demand hurt the honor of Sher Afghan, so he killed Qutbuddin. The guards of Qutbuddin also killed Sher Afghan. The guards also took Meharun-Nisa into custody and took her to the royal palace in Agra. Meharun-Nisa was given into the custody of Emperor Jahangir's foster mother, Salima Begum. Salima Begum convinced Meharun-Nisa to marry Jahangir after 2 years of brainwashing. Thus, Jahangir wed Meharun-Nisa in 1611. Jahangir gave her the titles of Noor Mahal and Noor Jahan. The second got fame. Noor Jahan lost himself in the glamour of a new life and forgot Sher Afghan, who had lost his life for her sake. It is a historic version of this love story. But there is another one too. It goes that Jahangir did not know Noor Jahan at all. Jahangir wrote in Tuske Jahangiri that Sher Afghan was killed because he had revolted. Apart from this revolt, the royal court was also going through a troubled situation. Khusro, the son of Jahangir, had stood in revolt against his father. Jahangir arrested Khusro and killed his supporters, including the brother of Noor Jahan, Muhammad Sharif. He also turned her father, Mirza Ghiyas, and brother, Asif Jah, out of court. In this course, Noor Jahan was also brought to the royal palace, where her custody was not entrusted to Salima Begum but Ruqayya Sultan Begum, the stepmother of Jahangir. When Jahangir came to his stepmother, he saw Noor Jahan and lost his heart to her, and he married her. We are not sure which historical version is true or false, but it was true that Noor Jahan had fully dominated Jahangir after marriage through love or cleverness. She was called Begum Emperor, but the word Begum was so called as she was virtually the emperor. It was to the extent that Noor Jahan, like the emperors, had also released the coins that embossed her name. Even the royal decrees were issued in her name. He himself admitted that he had handed over his sultanate to Noor Jahan. He said, "I need nothing except liquor and meat." Besides drinking, Jahangir also loved hunting, especially tigers. He mostly took Noor Jahan with him when hunting. After hectic efforts, the soldiers would bring the tiger out of the den, and the emperor sitting on the elephant would just shoot it. But it too was not without risks to the emperor, as the tigers could jump from 10 to 15 feet, which meant the tigers could target the man sitting on the elephant. Such an incident also once happened to Jahangir. Jahangir was sitting on the elephant while his soldiers were scattered in the jungle. The emperor got asleep. Suddenly, a tiger appeared and jumped at the elephant. However, Noor Jahan shot the tiger dead before it could cause any harm to the emperor. The sound of fire awakened the emperor, who thanked his wife for saving his life. On another occasion, Noor Jahan shot dead 4 tigers with 6 gunshots. After this feat, Noor Jahan recited Persian poetic lines, which render that Noor Jahan is not only a beautiful woman, but she is also bold, like men, to kill the lions. The miseries of the Noor Jahan family also came to an end after she became the empress. On the instance of Noor Jahan, Jahangir also reinstated her father and brother in the royal court. Mirza Ghiyas was made prime minister with the title of Itmadud Dawla, and Asif Jah was deputed to a high position. So Noor Jahan once again proved lucky for the family in its hours of distress. She not only put her father and brother back in their positions, but also married her daughter, Ladli Begum, to Shehryar, who was Jahangir's son from his other wife. She also married her niece and daughter of Asif Jah, Arjuman Bano, to Prince Khurram. Arjuman Bano, known as Mumtaz Mahal, was buried in Taj Mahal, which received world fame as a symbol of love. Noor Jahan also did not forget those who had been kind to her in the past. The Masood merchant, who had joined baby Noor Jahan with her family, had died when she became the princess. Noor Jahan called his son Malik Mahmud from Iran and gave him huge money, a costly horse, and goods. She separately gave Urs $50,000 for the construction of the Masood merchant grave. Noor Jahan also established a well and an inn at the site in Kandahar, where her parents had left her as a baby. She was also known for many other tales of kindness and liberal charity, but the most challenging time of her life came during the last days of Jahangir. Jahangir and his army were stationed near the Jhelum. The emperor was encamped away from the center of his army on the other side of the river. When Mahabat Khan, a general of his army, saw this, he captured the river bridge with the help of Rajput soldiers. He also arrested the emperor. Mahabat Khan had revolted as he failed to account for some military expeditions before the treasury. The emperor was quite dissatisfied with him over his misconduct. Mahabat Khan forcibly got an order from the emperor for his prime ministership. When the troops spotted the emperor taken prisoner by Mahabat Khan, they strove to cross the river. But the royal army was forced to retreat when the soldiers of Mahabat Khan showered arrows on it. The next day, Noor Jahan herself led the army. She was sitting on an elephant, holding her suckling granddaughter in her lap. The Khan's soldiers once rained arrows, which repulsed the royal army. The granddaughter of Noor Jahan also got injured, so she made a retreat. She was planning to strike back, but Mahabat Khan compelled the emperor to ask her to surrender. So the emperor ordered surrender and she obeyed and gave in. Noor Jahan, with the royal army, was also taken prisoner by Mahabat Khan. Mahabat Khan made a second demand to the emperor that he order the killing of Noor Jahan. So Jahangir also passed the order to kill Noor Jahan. When Noor Jahan saw this order, she wrote on the back of the decree, "I bow my head before the emperor's command, but I want to see the emperor once before his death." When Jahangir read it, he urged Mahabat Khan to let him see Noor Jahan for the last time. So Noor Jahan was brought before the emperor, handcuffed with disheveled hair and a glum face. Jahangir felt so much pain at her sight that, taking a risk of his own life, he recalled the order of her death. Mahabat Khan felt much offended by it, as he could not kill Noor Jahan without the royal decree. Khan feared a strong reaction from across India and the Mughals if he killed her without the emperor's order. Therefore, he preferred to keep quiet. Soon after getting a new lease of life, Noor Jahan took to planning the killing of Mahabat Khan. She sold out her ornaments for a huge amount, and with that, she secretly recruited Afghan soldiers. She also called for 2,000 additional soldiers from Lahore. The royal army was already with Noor Jahan. She also purchased the loyalty of many officers of Mahabat Khan. It was revealed much later to Mahabat Khan that he was left with little strength among the loyalists. So he fled to Deccan with a handful of his soldiers to take refuge with Prince Khurram and save his life. Noor Jahan saved Jahangir from Mahabat Khan, but she could not save him from his death. After some time, Jahangir died when he was coming back from Kashmir. Khusro and Pervez, the two sons of Jahangir, had already died during his lifetime. Now only Prince Shahryar and Prince Khurram were claimants to the throne. Since Noor Jahan was issueless from Jahangir, she aspired to enthrone her son-in-law Shahryar. But her own brother, Asif Jah, was backing his son-in-law Prince Khurram for the emperorship. It was Noor Jahan who got Asif a high position in the court and married his daughter to Prince Khurram, but thankless Asif Jah put his sister behind bars. However, her son-in-law Shahryar declared himself the emperor of India when this was all going on, but he could rule only for 3 months. The armies of Asif Jah and Shahryar battled near Lahore, wherein Shahryar lost and became a prisoner. Asif Jah made Shahryar blind and put him in prison. Now his son-in-law Khurram was enthroned, and he ruled India by the name of Shah Jahan. Shah Jahan got Shahryar killed soon after coming to power, but he set Noor Jahan free and fixed her annual stipend at Rs 200,000 or Rs $2 million. Noor Jahan spent 18 years of her widowhood in Lahore, where she also constructed the tomb of Jahangir. Noor Jahan died on December 17, 1645, at the age of 68. Noor Jahan had prepared her own coffin inscribed with Quranic verses from Iran during her lifetime. The coffin was washed with Zam-Zam water in Makkah. The majority of over 6,000 people at her funeral were those who were financially helped by Noor Jahan. The orphans had surrounded her dead body, and everyone was weeping. Noor Jahan was also buried in the tomb of Jahangir. The tomb still exists near the river Ravi in Lahore. Subscribe our channel like the video and press bell icon to get notified about our new videos.